Hello. In this video, we're going to discuss some ways to help prevent common infections. So, what is an infection? An infection happens when germs multiply or grow too much in a part of our body. This part of the body can then get sick, and this sickness, can sometimes spread to other parts of our body too. We all carry germs and interact with germs on a daily basis. Some germs can even be good for us, but there are many germs that can make us sick, and certain people in our lives are more likely to get sick. Infection can happen anywhere in our body, like a cut on our skin or inside of our lungs. Today, we're going to talk about germs that come from sickness, not the infection we see after an injury. So, what can an infection look like when we are sick? It could look like sneezing or coughing up snot. This snot might be yellow or green or even bloody. We may also have a fever, and our body temperature would be higher than it usually is. This can often make us feel sweaty, make us shiver, or overall uncomfortable. An infection can also upset our stomach, causing us to throw up or to have diarrhea. We may not feel hungry or thirsty the way we normally do. We can also get infections which cause our head, throat, or ears to hurt and make them sensitive. Some infections can also cause a burning, painful feeling when peeing. If we have an infection, what do we do next? There are many medications that can help an infection go away. Many can be purchased from a local pharmacy, or we already have them around the house. This might be something like aspirin or ibuprofen, which often helps with the discomfort of fevers. For some medications, talking to a doctor is required before purchasing. This could be something like an antibiotic, which are often used to treat sicknesses like ear infections. After talking to a doctor, these can then be purchased from a local pharmacy. If you are ever unsure about which medication is the right choice for the illness you have, ask your doctor or local pharmacist, and they can point you in the right direction. When sick, it is also important to drink plenty of clear liquids like water, tea, or low sugar juice. Drinking lots of fluids helps our body fight off the infection. It is also especially important if you are vomiting or experiencing diarrhea, as these cause you to lose lots of liquids. Also, when sick, do not exercise or do heavy work. It is important to let your body rest when it is sick, and it needs all the energy it can get to fight off the infection. Taking warm showers and steaming your face can also help clear out snot when you feel congested. How do we know when an infection has become an emergency and we need to go to a hospital or call 911? If any of these happen, it is important to seek medical care either by going to the hospital or by calling 911. If you are having trouble breathing, if you are turning blue, this happens most often on the lips and skin and happens when air we are breathing isn't getting to the rest of our body. If the temperature of a fever is above 102 degrees. If a fever gets too high, it can cause other problems that need the help of a doctor. Infections and fever can also sometimes cause seizures, which could look like movement or shaking that you are not controlling or loss of consciousness. It is important to seek out help after a seizure. When we have an infection, how do we avoid giving the infection to other people? Some infections spread very easily from person to person, and it's important to take action to avoid spreading infections or getting sick. One important action is washing our hands. This helps get germs that may make us sick off of our hands and helps stop them from getting into our body. This is especially important for kids as they love to touch lots of things and don't know not to put their hands in their mouths or noses, which can cause the germs to get into their body. It is also important to cover sneezes and coughs in our elbow as it helps stop the germs from getting onto other people. We should also throw out dirty tissues that have been used, as touching used tissues can help the germs to infect you. When we are sick, it is also important to try and keep to ourselves because it makes us less likely to spread germs to others. When kids are sick, it is also important to wash the toys they've played with, as it helps prevent the germs from spreading to other kids or people in the household. Similarly, when we are sick, try not to share items which we touch with others who are well, as the germs could spread. Before we get sick, it is also important to get vaccinated. Many infections have vaccines, which will help our immune system fight off the germ if it gets inside our body and can help prevent us from getting sick. It is possible to get vaccinated at places like our doctor's office or places like a Walgreens or CVS. It is especially important for kids to get vaccinated as they are often in crowded places like schools where they are exposed to lots of germs. Next, we are going to watch an example of how to best wash our hands to help prevent infection.
Hi everybody, I'm going to be teaching you how to properly wash your hands. So first, before you wash your hands, you want to make sure that you have no jewelry on your fingers or your wrists. So I'm just going to take off my watch, place it on the side. Then you're going to roll up your sleeves and turn on the warm water. Make sure you get your hands nice and wet. And you can push that closed with the back of your hand. Then you are going to take a good pump of soap and you are going to start rubbing your hands together for 20 seconds. During these 20 seconds, be sure to get under your fingernails. You can go up towards the wrist and get in between the fingers. Now, I've been talking for about 10 seconds, but the way that you can count how long it takes to wash your hands is by singing happy birthday twice. So now that we have lathered and scrubbed our hands for about 20 seconds, then we can turn the tap back on. Make sure you rinse all of the soap suds away. Turn off the faucet and dry your hands.
As we said before, covering our face when we sneeze or cough is important to prevent germs from spreading. On the right, we see examples of how to cover our face when sneezing or coughing. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and we hope you stay happy and healthy.